Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Generation X Nation. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you who take the time and watch my videos. Keep doing it. Keep sharing. Leave a comment. Like and subscribe. Let your friends know. Let your cousins know. Let your sisters and brothers know. I don't know, but get me moving, people, okay? Because I do good videos, if I may say so myself. I'm no different than the rest of these content creators. I know you have your favorite. Thank you for all of you who have subscribed. Thank you for picking me. All right. And at least taking the time to look at my videos. All right. I'm a little behind on the love and hip hop because I was out of pocket for a minute. As you know, if you watch my channel, I do weekly commentaries on several different shows that I like to watch. Every now and then I'll do some hot topics on subjects that I think needs to be addressed, especially in our community. If you know anything about me, I am very pro our community. All right. That doesn't mean that I'm going to say everything we do is right, but I do, have a lot of pride in our people. Now, with that being said, uh, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was a doozy this week. I'm going to talk about the Selma and the 24 incident, but I'm going to get on that Ashley and that dang on Zane. The Ashley and Zane, I don't know where Mona Scott found them and why she put them two on the show, but that's a whole nother story. Let's just go on and pick up where they left off at. Okay, they're at the restaurant. Mama D has spilled the beans about the alleged affair with Selma and Sierra's brother-in-law. 24 gets up, walks out. He's upset. Of course, Lil Zane, raggedy ass, and Scrappy go after him, trying to calm him down. Now, I don't know about you, but 24 looked like a dude you don't want to mess with. He looked like he bout that life for real. They follow him to the little hallway or whatever. They're trying to calm him down. He is visibly upset. He is visibly pissed. He's mad at Scrappy. He's mad at Zane. But I didn't see the heat from Mama D, who spilled the beans. Now, as they're going back and forth in a conversation, 24 is like, "Hey, did you know about this? Did you know about this?" And Scrap was like, "Well, I kind of heard some things, but I ain't want to speak on it because I got my own stuff going on over here." "No, man, no, this is messed up." Then he asked Zane, "Zane, did you know about this?" "Well, yeah, bro, I knew, but I was just trying to find the right time to tell you." So he was like, "Was this before or after Puerto Rico?" And Zane's like, yeah, it was before. And y'all ain't tell me shit. I ain't, he's like, "I ain't about all this. This is some bull crap. He ain't trying to ruin my life, all this stuff." So then Scrap is trying to calm him down. And I'm like, I don't know if 24 is in the mood to be calmed down. He's told y'all a zillion times, "Leave me alone. Go away. I don't want to talk to y'all. Let me go. Leave me alone." And they just study coming at him. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of times when people say, "Leave me alone," when they're that upset, it's probably safe to say, give them a minute to cool off. Walk away, let him do what he needs to do to bring his temperature down, and then maybe come back and check on him. But y'all stayed in his face while he was exploding, pissed off, crashing out, and I don't think you quite understood. He was pissed. So then Scrap was saying, "Hey, Zane, going off somewhere. I need to talk to you." Because 24 is like, "Hey, man." And Scrap is like, "Hey, we've been around each other for blase amount of years. We can have a conversation, da da da. You know, I don't know this dude like that, but I know you." So Scrap is like, "I get it. You're right. Hey, Zane, walk off." Zane is like, "Well, no, man." And then Scrap kind of just tapped him in the chest just to, let him know, "Hey, go away." Zane gonna pump up on Scrap. "Oh, don't be putting your hands on me." Zane, what you gonna do? The little engine that could, what are you going to do? So don't be putting your hands on me. And then, of course, the security comes in, break it up. Scrap looking at Zane like, is you serious, Ninja? You can't be serious. I'm like, "Zane, you popped off at Scrap real quick, but you was very, very gentle when 24 was up in your grill. You ain't pop off at 24 like that." But Zane gives me that. He got that sort short man syndrome. He has to have it because he always want to pop off and fight people. I'm like, dude, you know dang on well Scrap would laid your behind out. You probably only on the show because of Scrap. They probably recommended you. Why are you biting the hand that feeds you? Because what nobody checking for Lil Zane and Ashley? Hell, I forgot he existed, to be honest with you. I only know maybe one record he made, and he was on the Fighting Temptations with Beyonce. It's not like you made this big impact in the hip hop world. So I'm like, okay. Now, simultaneously, while they're going back and forth, Cardi and Spice getting the real tea. They call Sierra. Sierra, is this true? Sierra kind of like, why did Mama D spill this? She shouldn't have done that. I'm not saying nothing. She gives them Zay's number. Zay sitting on the couch with his brother. They ask him, are you messing with Selma? Nothing came out of his mouth, if you noticed, but he just nodded his head. And they took that as a yes and ran with, ah. And I'm like, he never actually said yes. He just nodded. Okay. Then they get on the bus. They go to the bus scene with Jock and all the ladies are leaving the strip club after celebrating, I think it was Erica's engagement or something like that. Selma gets the call. Carly didn't want to upset Selma, and I give Carly credit on that. She told him that 24 wasn't feeling well. Maybe his blood pressure was up. You need to get back here. So that's cool. As the bus is rolling, Erica gets called from Sierra. She got her on speakerphone. She's like, hey, is Selma on the bus? Erica's like, yeah, what's happening? Oh, and I'm sorry. Erica tells Sierra, we heading back. Something's wrong with 24. She's like, is Selma on the bus? She's like, yeah. So Erica's like, Sierra's like, okay, I'll call you back later. So by then, Erica's putting the pieces together. There was a rumor that somebody was cheating and they was a married couple. Maybe this is a rumor. I think Erica already knew too. So they all get back to the hotel, and that's where everything kicks off from there with Zane and his pettiness. Now remember, back at the hotel, even though Scrappy said he kind of heard about it, but he didn't speak on it, Zane actually told 24 that he's seen the text messages. So 24 is really livid. We don't know what's going to happen when Selma walk in the room. Selma's looking a little nervous as she's getting there. 24 is trying to calm down. When Selma walks in the room, all of a sudden, it's all good. It's cool. Ain't nothing going on. It's cool. Selma's like, what's up? What's up? What's up? And then you kind of see them close the curtain where she's like, I'll take this mic off and all of that. All of a sudden, 24 is just then calm down. And I'm like, that man was on 10 before she got here. And now you calm, that's dangerous and that's scary. But of course, the camera goes off to something else. I believe, in my opinion, allegedly, 24 kind of knew Selma might have been doing some stuff or maybe caught her previously, as I said in my other videos. And I believe Selma know that her husband caught her and she's cornered and she's going to have to come out and spill some real tea and tell the truth. And so that's how that scene kind of end. Once again, Lil Zane all up in the middle, pouring gasoline on a fire when Scrappy's over here trying his best to put out the fire. But 24 never said anything about Mama D. I found that to be very interesting. Now Carly's on the bus, her and Spice, giving a tea to everybody, letting them know what was said about Selma and Sierra's brother-in-law and 24, what have you. So now everybody know what happened. Now, back in Atlanta, Jessica, Sierra, the Frost, and Bambi all went to Sierra's house to have, and Sierra's husband all sat down and had a little kickback, I guess, and just talk about some things and what was going on in Puerto Rico. And hey, Bambi just admitted, hey, I had a conversation with Mama D, and we're trying to move forward. That's what I call growth. That whole little circle there, I like that. I like to see Sierra back to her normal self because y'all know in the first couple episodes, she was looking real bad. Like she was, out there in the streets living that life. And it seemed like Zay is bringing her some peace. So I'm happy for that. Even though I still got my eye on Zay, I hope he actually is real about Sierra and not another one of those guys that's trying to get some clout off of her. But she looks happy. She looks healthy. Kurt and Rashida looks good. Bambi seemed like she's getting better. And again, on a side note, Bambi's ex, Ray Face or whatever, and Tommy Lee, I don't know, they got some stuff going on Instagram. Y'all go over there and look at Shade Room or Reality TV, whatever those different Instagram channels are. They're going back and forth. Um, Just what I said about Ray in my other videos. Y'all got to watch my videos and share. I have good commentary. I said Ray was a cloud chaser, and now he's chasing look like Tommy and this and that, trying to get that them views and clicks and likes up to get that music pushed through. Okay, so we can know his name. But back to the story. So all of those couples look happy, look like they're moving forward. It's called growth. I appreciate that. Thank you for showing something like that every now and then when nobody's arguing. They're just sitting around chit chatting, having a good time, eating and enjoying life. I definitely appreciate that downtime because we get back to the mess in Puerto Rico in a minute. Also, on the side note, did y'all see Rashida and Kurt's photo shoot? I just thought it was funny, Kurt out here trying to be sexy. But, just like Sierra said, don't matter what Rashida and Kurt go through, they going to find a way to stay together. So, as Rashida said in the very first episode of this season, I ain't never leaving Kurt. She meant that and stood 10 toes down on it, okay? Now I'm going to play a conversation that 24 had the very next morning in that little cabana or small little area outside of his hotel room. And you tell me what y'all think. Because it sounded like to me, like I was saying, 24 was aware that his wife was up to something. But y'all listen.
What's the deal, my boy? I'm ready to go with these folks. I'm ready to slide. I got too much going on to be out here. Because it's one thing when it's real, but it's one thing when it's old, when it's irrelevant. It's only one rule: respect the queen. Once the respect go out the window, I'm out the window.
Now he said it's one thing when, oops, hold on. I'm so sorry. I had a hiccup I had to go in there and fix. But again, if you listen closely, he said it's one thing. He said when it's real. He says another thing was old and irrelevant. Y'all need to learn how to respect the queen. So is he talking about these rumors about his wife or the fact that she cheated on him in the past is old and it's irrelevant and he knew about it? And that's what I kept saying. I think Zane knew a little bit, and I know for sure Selma knew her husband knew because that wasn't making sense to me. Why would you be on the phone saying it's one thing when it's real, it's another thing when it's old and irrelevant? I'm ready to get up out of here. They need to make sure they respect the queen. Just my opinion. Now, Scrappy is on the beach talking to I'm sorry, Young Jock, trying to find him another ally. Because by now he done pissed off 24. He done pissed off Scrappy. I'm sorry, not Scrappy. Little Zane is on the beach with Jock trying to find a new ally. Little Zane has pissed off 24, Scrappy, Mandeezy, Spice, and Carly Red. He is running out of allies, okay? So now he's trying to say, well, would you have said something if you knew? And Young Jock told him, absolutely not. That is not your business. He said, I wouldn't have told him nothing. And I believe Young Jock is right. Young Jock was just saying, you could have did it in a more subliminal way. Like, hey, man, pay attention to your surroundings. Make sure you know what's going on. Not to come out and say it. So I understand completely what Young Jock was trying to say. Because at the end of the day, and we all probably have experienced this or know somebody who experienced it, catching somebody else's spouse in a place they shouldn't be. I'll just say that, whether they're cheating or at dinner or whatever. You see them, you know them, and you go back and repeat it to that person who you think is your friend or your relative. That spouse and them get into a big fight. They blame you. He or she no longer wants you around and they stay together and you lose a friend or relative or sister or brother, what have you. So a lot of people say, you know what? I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going hopefully I'll throw some subliminals out there. Maybe they'll catch it, or I'll wait and see what goes on and then I'll have a conversation with them. But one thing you don't do is do it in public. And that was correct. We don't need to do it out in public. And Zane was like, oh, I was waiting to pull him to the side. No, you wasn't. I believe Zane and Ashley would have spilled the beans in front of everybody, just like Mama D did, just for shock value so they could be relevant and have a storyline on the show. That's just my opinion. All right, I'm gonna finish this up because there's not much more to go after that. They go to the distillery, have a little drink. Once again, Zane and Ashley starts talking. They start getting into it. Mendeezy. Mendeezy walks away, of course, talking about cheating and all that stuff. And Mendeezy is just tired. He's over it. Mendeezy basically said, look, if they was in the business that I used to be in, snitching like that, I couldn't hang around people like that in the business I used to be in. Because basically, we know that Mendeezy was a street dude, and they ain't nothing but snitches and running mouth. He said they gossip too much. Mendeezy said, I don't gossip. I make money. Kudos to Mendeezy, because if you go over there Instagram, Mendeezy over there building houses. Okay, he's making his money. So of course they go back and forth. Carly Red had a few things to say. She's sick of Zayn. She don't accept his apology. She's tired of it. They go to the next venue. I think that's where Mama D is at. They're sitting outside somewhere. Mama D kind of explained her stance on a lot of things. She understood people, I guess because she's Scrappy's mom, they real careful about how they talk to her. But Mama D just felt like when she was talking to Brittany earlier, Scrappy's girlfriend, that she felt like, hey, people are mad at me, but I said what I said. I feel they need to know. But I know in Brittany's hair, she's probably saying, Mama D, you didn't have to say that in front of everybody. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm eating the apple. I'm trying to finish it up. Now, they get to the last scene, and of course, once again, Zayn and Ashley. Is everybody cheating? Who cares if you cheat, you cheat, you cheat? Y'all just don't know when to shut it off. Back to the cheating thing. All through the whole episode, Zayn and Ashley accusing everybody of cheating. Zayn and Ashley getting in confrontations with everybody about their marriages and their life. Just like I think it was Mendeezy, Jock, and rest of them, like focus on y'all stuff. Why y'all focus on everybody else stuff? They don't like Mendeezy because they can't trigger Mendeezy. Mendeezy walks away. I think Mendeezy is the type of guy, if you push him to that limit, you will regret it. So he maintains composure at all times. But if you ever push him there, because Mendeezy always have a very smooth thing of you very rarely see Mendeezy snap. Those are people you should be afraid of. Because the people with the biggest mouths talking the most shit probably got the least amount of fight in them. I guarantee you, Ashley running off at that mouth, if Spice would have got up in her grill real hard, or Sierra or Bambi, or any of them chicks over there, they'd have laid Ashley out. Zayn the same way. If 24 would have got up in Zayn's face like he wanted to, Zayn would have been laid out, probably on his way to the hospital in Puerto Rico. Them two are like those pesty little brothers and sisters that you just, when they walk in the room, you get up and leave. They come in the room with the mess. I don't know what it is, but they come up in the room with the mess. Every time they walk in the room, every time there's an event where people are just chilling and laughing, Zayn and Ashley has to bring something up that's controversy and start arguing with people. I think Mendeezy's done with them. He's telling them, telling Mendeezy, you talking about your wife on a business trip and she out on, laying out in bikinis on. Why do you care what Yandy's doing? And this is what I don't get with little Zane and Ashley. This is their second season on the show, I believe, and y'all are in everybody' business like you care what each and every person is doing. Mind your damn business. It's not like Ashley. Maybe you should show some scenes with you trying to develop a relationship with your daughters that you allegedly abandoned with their fathers to get your life together and never came back for, and they don't like you. And I'm not questioning your mother's skills. Maybe you was backed in a corner. But apparently when you found little Zane and thought you went from rags to riches or whatever, you took Zane and ran with it. Now you count his dollars every day. Zane, why don't you address the issue you have with your mom and your biological father and what really took place there? And I'm assuming that's going to be aired because y'all seem to be in everybody else's mess when you got your own family dramas to deal with. Ashley, address the cheating. Every time they discuss Zane cheating, y'all just go over that like nobody, like nobody hear it. And Spice even said you was with my homegirl in London. Zane and Ashley are the perfect example of a couple who are not self-aware of anything they do. They probably looking back at the replays of these episodes and still don't think they did anything wrong because Ashley was on Instagram typing with her trigger fingers talking, oh well, the gangster keyboard. If somebody say something about me, I'ma say this and that, all that crap. Like y'all don't even see what you do to people. I'm with Mendeezy. Those are not people that you should ever be friends with. I don't know them personally. Everything on my channel is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. I do all of my commentary week by week based on the episodes that I see, and I do understand things are edited. Now, they could have edited Ashley and Zane to look like this. I don't know. But if a fraction of this is the way they behave, they could never be friends with me. And if you have any friends that act like them, run and don't look back. They are in everybody's business but their own. Okay. Now, next week is going to be good. They 24 and Selma are going to be sitting there talking, and Selma going to admit she entertained somebody. Like I said, I knew from the beginning when it all came out. Zane even told 24. Told Young Jock he seen the text messages. I get all that. Find friends who are secret keepers. Find friends who, no matter how much y'all fall out, they won't tell your deepest dark secrets. Those are true friends. Even when y'all not in good spaces, they still won't tell your secrets. Those are friends that you want for life. Okay? Zane and Ashley, and I say this with love, they are nobody's friend. They are nobody's friend. And I am literally, if they're not on the show next year, I'm okay with that. Because although we like our little mess and a little drama on our shows, sometimes it goes too far and is not entertaining. And they are not entertaining. And they may be pushed in there to get the storylines going, to clock in, to make some more drama. Because if we look at the cast members, we see Scrappy has evolving. We see Bambi has moved on. She's evolving. You see Sierra is evolving. So they're not in as much mess as they used to be. I don't know what's going on with Jessica. Y'all can get rid of her too. Cause she just, I don't even know why she there. She must just need to check desperately and somebody likes her because she has no storyline. She just goes around and repeats shit. What's really going on in your life, Jessica? But anyway, Kurt and Rashida, all these people have Carly Red and opening up a restaurant. Everybody's kind of evolving and they still have their little mess. Spice is touring the world. They still have a little mess and drama amongst each other, but then they still go out and do things, get their businesses started and, marriages and kids. And then, hey, come these two little kids, they act like they in high school still. Y'all grown. Like, it's okay to have a little drama. I just think they take it too far, and that's what turned people off. Okay. And with that being said, everything I said on this channel is alleged, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes only. I will have the Fair Use Act up there because I did use a smidget of audio from the show just so y'all can hear what I've been saying. I believe they knew about this the whole time. Why they chose the show to let it out? They need a good storyline that keeps him on the show, keeps him relevant. I don't know if 24 really wants to be on the show. He kind of gives me maybe, maybe not. It might be Selma's ideal because she's trying to get a rap career off the ground, but it's exposed. You don't love in hip hop. You on reality TV. There's not a reality TV show that I've seen where somebody wasn't having an affair. Let's just keep it a buck. All right. And with that being said, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think that 24 knew about Selma before it actually got aired? I believe they did. Do you think Little Zane and Ashley are good for the show and need to come back next season? Or you think they just a little bit too cringy and messy for you? What do you think? And with that being said, it's Generation X Nation. You guys go out again. Have a great rest of your day. I know it's a lot going on in this world. Please don't let it get to you. I try to make these videos light and a little bit entertaining because sometimes we got to get away from the BS. But with that also, we also do have reality. We do live in America. We see what's going on. And every now and then I will post videos on things that I see in my community that needs to be improved or talked about. So go check out some of those videos and leave some comments and let me know what you think. All right. You guys be safe. Have a great rest of your day. And this is Gen X Nation. And I am out. Peace.